And we're live? Are we live? Whoops. And live? There we go. Mute that. All right. Let's get the notes. Let's get the soundboard. Let's get the chat room. And let's get Aaron in here. Oh, freaking allergies. All right, getting Aaron in here. That'll be a sec. Notes. Here we go. It's going to be a short show tonight because I feel like poo. So we're going to rip through this. There we go. Aaron's in the notes. I'm in the notes. Wait for him to fill out his stuff. I am not on NyQuil. I wish I was on NyQuil. Test. Okay, I think we're good. Stuck that. Closest thing I have to a cough switch. Just turn off the mic. All right, let's do this. Yo.
Hi.
Can
you hear me?
Yes. Can you hang on. Can you hear this?
You are not prepared.
Yep.
Awesome. Works for me. Good enough for me. Let's do this thing.
Okay.
I feel like poo, so this is going to be a short episode.
I'm kind of tired, so...
You're roboting.
What?
You were roboting for a sec. You're back.
Okay. Whatever. Let's just do it.
All right. Yeah, we're good to go. All right. Thing is recording. It's doing a thing. There's stuff and whatnot. Yeah. We're ready. Let's do this thing. It begins in 3, 2, 1. This is Life is Leet episode 36 for Tuesday, April 28, 2015. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Life is Leet. This is a podcast of nerds yelling at microphones about things. I'm Jesse Hanna, and joining me tonight, as always, is my younger brother and co-host, Aaron. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Myself. A little tired, but I'm fine.
I'm not doing pretty good. Allergies can F off. Seriously, screw allergies. They can suck it. I've just been miserable the last couple of days. I loaded up on every possible allergy medicine that doesn't clash with each other that I can get my hands on. Nope, still doesn't do any good. So maybe it's just a full-blown cold at this point. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We're here anyway. Let's go ahead and do this thing. Well, not like it matters that much because I haven't had much time for gaming this week, largely thanks to said allergies. But the two things that I have played a lot of lately are Hearthstone and Mario Kart. We'll be talking about Mario Kart in a bit. In Hearthstone, I actually swept the fourth wing of Blackrock Mountain, the Blackrock Mountain Adventure, which was Blackwing Lair, with my Boom Mage deck, my Mech Mage. And I've seen a lot of people having a lot of trouble with Chromagus, which his boss mechanic is awesome. Every turn, he puts a 1 mana cost card into your hand that has effects like, as long as this card is in your hand, Chromagus's minions cost 1 less, or his spells cost 1 less. And so you have to play that card to get rid of it. So it's an awesome mechanic, and I can see how it would be infuriating. But with my Mech Mage, I didn't have a whole lot of trouble with it. And if you have a deck that has a lot of cards that do things whenever you play a card or play a spell, then that's ideal for going up against Chromagus with. But the boss design in Blackrock Mountain continues to be just astounding and awesome, and I love it. I've also been playing some ladder. I've gotten as high as rank 14 this season, which is, I think it's a personal record for me. I'm back down to 15 right now, though. And I've been finally figuring out my oil rogue deck. It's a rogue deck centered around Tinker's Sharp Sword Oil. Easy for me to say, especially when I can't breathe through my nose. But I've been having a lot of fun with that deck. It's mostly just net decked from Icy Veins. I've made a couple of tweaks here and there to it, but I had a lot of trouble with it earlier on, but I think I've finally got it figured out. So I've been having some fun with that. Still having a lot of fun in Hearthstone on my phone is where I've mostly been playing it lately because it's just way too good and way too addicting. What about you, Aaron?
I haven't had much time either, really.
Yeah.
Aside from just a tiny bit of rank. I'm good for the card back, but
Yeah. Well,
not much.
Yeah, it's not that hard to get up to 20. You can't lose any stars, lose any ranking until after you hit 20. So there's really no reason not to at least get up to 20 and get the card back each season.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think 14 is the highest that I've ever gotten, and I'm pretty sure the highest that I've finished a season is 15. So I don't know if I'm going to just cut my losses and stick with 15 for this season, or if I'm going to try to get back up to 14. I don't know what I'm going to do yet for the April season. But Hearthstone is definitely still lots of fun.
Yeah. There's always time for Hearthstone.
Yep.
Especially now that it could be played on almost any device.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's no reason not to play it now. Now that you can play it anywhere. It's great.
You could even sit in the middle of class and do it. That might not be a smart idea, but
No, probably not.
but it's worth it.
Yeah, they've done a great job with Hearthstone, the phone version of Hearthstone. It's definitely worth it's just definitely a game worth playing if you haven't yet.
Yeah.
I highly recommend go check out Hearthstone. And if you haven't yet, what are you even doing?
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Blizzard, they've actually made a bit of history this past week. They hosted they I forget who they partnered with, but they partnered with ESPN was the big one for a Heroes of the Storm tournament called Heroes of the Dorm, and we might have talked about this on a previous episode. But it's a collegiate Heroes of the Storm tournament with the grand prize being full college tuition for all of the members of the winning team.
Did I mention that I was considering doing this on show? Because I seem to remember mentioning it to you, but I don't remember saying it on mic.
No, I don't think you did.
Oh.
Mention it, at least not on the show. But incidentally, one of the teams that made it all the way, not just to the bracket elimination rounds, but all the way to the finals of the tournament was a team from Arizona State University.
Shout out to ASU.
Yeah, and
Wish I was going there.
they made it all the way to the finals and went up against UC Berkeley, so Pac-12 represent, and I didn't see very much of the finals. I really only saw like the very end of it. But ASU made a very late critical mistake in game 5, and it was a best of 5. And so they very narrowly lost to Cal Berkeley, 3-2. But it was a historic event because the finals were the first time that a live esports event had been broadcast on or I'm pretty sure it was the first time that a live esports event had been broadcast on national TV because it was on ESPN too. And I know that ESPN had done something for the Dota 2 World Championships, I believe it was. But
I think that was on like I figured that would be on like ESPN 3, which is like
well, no, it was on actual TV, but I think
Was it?
I think it was tape delayed. So
Huh.
I don't think it was live, and that was the thing with this. There was a live nationally telecast esports tournament or tournament final. All of the elimination matches from the round of 64 up through the heroic 4, they called the final 4 round before the finals. Those were all on ESPN 3, but the finals proper were on ESPN 2. And so it was kind of interesting to see the commentary on Twitter from all the people who are watching it. So you had a mashup both of people who follow esports on the one hand, and then also people who just follow college sports on the other. I follow a lot of people on Twitter who are fans and media people who follow ASU sports, and a lot of them were tweeting about it. And then, of course, you had people who were going, who were just turning on ESPN2 and going, what the hell is this? Why are people playing video games on ESPN GTFO? So you had a few of those, but I think they were pretty...
But for the most part, it was kind of funny.
They were pretty overwhelmingly outnumbered by people who had no idea what was going on, but thought that it was just
themselves
the
watching.
most awesome thing. And it actually got a lot of really high-profile attention from some pretty major names, at least some major names on Twitter and some just major names generally. Probably the biggest among which, Bill Walton, a tremendously famous Hall of Fame basketball player, had a long NBA career, played, I think, for UCLA. So he's a huge fan of anything to do with Pac-10 or Pac-12 sports, and he tweeted out a comment on the finals of Heroes of the Dorm featuring 2 Pac-12 schools. The official Sun Devil Athletics Twitter account posted a link to a Vine video of probably the best line from the commentators during the event about ASU going ham on the core. And that kind of became a meme unto itself on Twitter.
What did?
going ham on the core.
Yeah, that
we'll have
it's become a meme on both sides of the equation.
We'll have a link to this in the show notes, but there's a lot of going ham on the core going around on Twitter now. We'll have a link to these in the show notes. Both the ASU football and baseball Twitter accounts vowed revenge against Cal. Obviously, both being Pac-12 schools, they face each other regularly in pretty much every sport. ASU baseball faces Cal this weekend, and football will be playing against them next season. So there's been some smack talk there, including from the ASU baseball coach. He tweeted out a pretty awesome comment in support of the ASU Heroes team. And then also ASU Associate Athletic Director Bill Kennedy had just a great running commentary during the entire finals, and he has tweeted out that he wants to acknowledge the members of the ASU team at an actual ASU athletics sporting event coming up soon. And then you also had ASU media people on Twitter like at Jedi ASU, Brad Denny, who's a journalist for one of the local TV stations. So it's fascinating to me that an esport event got so much attention from people who just are involved in and cover normal college sports. And so I really hope that Heroes of the Dorm becomes a regular thing. I really hope that collegiate esports becomes a regular thing because of how much attention this got and how many people tuned in, had no idea what was going on, but just got so into it. And so I kind of, the big question is, have esports started to really hit the mainstream? And if they have, could Heroes of the Storm be the game to do it? And I say that it is still tough for a casual viewer to really figure out in detail what's going on. But Heroes has really compelling, dramatic gameplay because there's no milling around at the shop at the team base. There are a lot more team fights. You have a much clearer progression of each character through the talent system. So each talent that a person chooses, you can see from that what kind of play style they're going for without having to discern it from the items that they buy or from the just having played enough to be able to figure out what's going on just by watching. And so if you've got really great casters to be able to explain just the basics of that, it's really easy for someone who has no idea what's going on at the first to really get caught up in it. And the casters for this, I think Artosis, Day 9 were they're two legendary StarCraft, and they've also done some Hearthstone casting.
I know Day 9 has done StarCraft.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much of him, though. But I know he's done StarCraft and Hearthstone.
I can't remember all of them, but those were two of the commentators for this event, and they were outstanding. They did a great job. And if you've got that, and you've got a game that's interesting to watch, then I think Heroes really could be the game to really start to break into mainstream sports.
I think
the mainstream sports consciousness.
I think the length of games in Heroes is probably, or just the length of matches in general, is probably what's going to make this much more of a thing.
Yeah.
Because when you look at games like League of Legends or Dota, you'll have games that go on for almost an hour. I mean, we have regular sports games that go on for longer, but they have like timeouts and stuff for like a commercial break.
Well, yeah.
And stuff. So sitting there for 40 to 50 to an hour, 50 minutes to an hour, not really understanding what's going on, that probably will catch up. But with Heroes, it's quick and it's done very easily. And I could see that definitely leading the way, along with a couple other esports worthy games, like, I don't know, most other 2D fighting games, like, say, Street Fighter or something.
Yeah.
Could definitely have an impact.
I could see that.
Much shorter games being a televised thing, but...
Well, those have been around in competitive form for much longer, so do you think maybe a game like Heroes breaking more into the mainstream could get more attention for those games that have been around longer, but just not gotten the same exposure?
Yeah, probably. I mean, who knows? We could see like fighting game tournaments broadcasted on TV. We could see like
Yeah.
Evo, which is a big fighting game tournament.
Could get games like Madden, MLB The Show, things like that.
Or stuff like, I don't know, Counter-Strike on
Well,
TV or something.
First-person shooters are a lot harder to follow as a spectator, because unless the game has a really good spectator mode that can give you a really good view of what's going on, it is a lot harder to follow everything that's going on.
Yeah, that's true.
And you've got that a little bit with MOBAs, but not nearly to the same extent.
But with fighting games, it's pretty easy.
Well, yeah, that's pretty straightforward.
Because at most, you have only two people on the. You only have like two people playing,
Yeah.
and it's all there on screen.
Yeah. Well,
So, yeah.
to your point about the length of games and the length of matches, the finals of Heroes of the Dorm actually ran pretty long, and Game 5 especially ran very long for a Heroes game, much longer than a standard Heroes game typically lasts. But it worked because it was such a compelling matchup. You already had the drama of it being a best of 5, being tied, and then the game itself featured a lot of team fights, a lot of back and forth, and the casters especially did an excellent job of explaining the strategy behind each of the moves that each team made. And when ASU made the mistake that they did, they tried to all hearth back to their base to regroup at the same time. But they misjudged, I think, where they were in relation to Cal, and Cal was able to pick off, I think, 2 members of the ASU team, and that proved to just be too much. After that, Cal was able to go in and take out ASU's core. But even though it was a long game and a long match, it was so compelling, and the casters did a great job of making it compelling and interesting, and explaining it to the audience. That I think it works. And you don't have that with a game like League, where the games individually are much longer, much slower. With Heroes, you've got a much better pace. And so I think that's its biggest advantage. Usually that translates to shorter games, but even when it doesn't, it still makes it really, really interesting and compelling for even a complete stranger to the game to be able to get sucked right in.
Yeah.
So, long story short, go ham on the core.
And then I linked the picture in the show notes.
Oh, yes.
That Blizzard tweeted.
I know the one that you tweeted, yes. Again, we'll have links to some of the tweets that came out of the Heroes of the Dorm contest in our show notes, lifeisleet.com.
It's become a meme on both sides.
On
the ASU side and on the actual Blizzard side.
Oh yeah, it's great. It was a great tournament. ASU did a great job. Obviously, I'm a little biased. I'm representing my ASU t-shirt.
I'm totally biased, even though I'm not wearing mine right now.
Oh yeah, and you don't even go there, but it's.
No, things could change.
It's the family school.
I don't know. Shrug.
It's the family school, so we'll always be biased towards ASU.
We'll always be biased, and we're not really ashamed to admit it.
We are not, but congratulations to them. Congrats to Cal on just an epic final match, and like I said, I really hope that this becomes a regular thing, because I want to see more of this. Just more collegiate esports, please. Let's do this.
I would be okay with it.
All right, moving on. Last thing we're going to talk about. This is just going to be a short episode because I feel like poo. So last thing that we're going to talk about, just real quick, is Mario Kart. The new patch came out just this past week that brought with it the new the Animal Crossing DLC. So you've got your villager and a couple other new characters. You got 2 new Grand Prix cups, and you've also got, not as part of the DLC, but just part of the free update, you've also now got 200cc mode. And holy frigging frig is it fast. I don't even have it unlocked yet. You have to earn gold trophies on all
Gold
of
on all the trophies,
yeah
on all non-DLC trophies,
on
on
all the
150cc, I'm pretty sure.
yeah. Well, I think on all of the modes.
No, I'm pretty sure it's at least 150.
Well, at the very least 150. I can't remember if it's all 3 modes 50, 100, 150, or if it's just 150. But anyway,
I'm just going for 150.
yeah. I've got 50 and 100. I'm still a few trophies short on 150. But you have to earn all those. You have to earn gold trophies on all the non-DLC cups to unlock it. But if you haven't seen it yet, go to YouTube and just do a search for 200cc Mario Kart. I'm not going to show any of it here because I feel sick, and as it is, the 200cc Baby Park video, we'll have a link to that one in the show notes. It was posted by Polygon.
I'm gonna watch this right now.
Baby Park is one of the new DLC tracks, and it's basically just a short oval. It's a 7-lap circuit.
Wasn't this? It was in a Double Dash.
Yeah, it
I
was
never
in
played Double
the,
Dash, but I
the
seem to
GameCube.
recognize it from it.
It's from the GameCube version of Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So it's a real short, just simple oval track. It's kind of the floaty mode. The whole track is just the floaty thing that some of the tracks have.
Yeah, but it's short, but it's 7 laps.
Yeah. And at 200cc, it makes you dizzy. We'll have a link to it in the show notes. Go watch it. You basically, if you're going to do drifting turns, you have to jump and start drifting halfway down the straightaway. You can't wait until when you would normally start turning. You have to start turning halfway down the straightaway to be able to make the turn. And even then, just it's dizzying. Again, go search YouTube for 200cc Mario Kart 8. And especially look for some of the 60 frames per second videos on there. And hold on to your butts because holy cow, is it fast. I'm still several trophies away from getting it unlocked, but as soon as I do have it unlocked, I will report back on just how terrible I am at it. Because
I've seen a little bit of 200cc myself, and it looks kind of crazy.
It's ridiculous. Holy cow. But it just looks so awesome. So go check that out. Again, we'll have a link to that in the show notes, which if you want to find that, you want to find an MP3 download of all of our episodes, links to our Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus pages, links to subscribe to us on iTunes or via our RSS feed directly. You can find all of that at our website, which is lifeisleet.com. That's LIFEISLEET.com. On Facebook, we're at fb.me/lifeisleet. On Twitter at lifeisleet. And on Google Plus at +lifeisleet podcast. We live stream all our episodes, which we record on Tuesday nights at about 9 Arizona time. You can find that at lifeisleet.com/live, or if you prefer Twitch directly, subscribe to us at twitch.tv/lifeisleet. I'm Jesse. I write this thing, so if anything is wrong, blame me. All the stuff that I do is at jbhanna.net or at jbhanna. And whenever one or the other of us streams any games that we play, we'll mirror that to the Life is Leet Twitch stream. So again, you can go to lifeisleet.com/live to watch that. Or you can follow me at twitch.tv/jbhanna, Aaron at twitch.tv/plato0, that's PLATO and the number 0. Or again, twitch.tv/lifeisleet to follow us directly. If you want to contact the show with any feedbacks, suggestions, audio attachments, recommendations of things for us to play, read, watch, whatever, you can send all of that to us at podcast@lifeisleet.com. Again, that's podcast@lifeisleet.com is where you can email us. That's going to do it for this week. For me, for Aaron, everyone within the sound of our voice. Until next time, take care.
Goodbye. I have to wonder if they are ever going to make Murky's March of the Murlocs into March of the Bacon.
All right, I'm gonna go take NyQuil and pass out. Oh man, friggin' allergies. I want to get this posted tonight, but I
Hey,
don't
take your
want to
time.
do it tonight. I'll export the audio file and just upload it in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay.
All right. See ya.
Okay. See ya.
Bye, Twitch.